Good afternoon and welcome back to the kitchen. Today we're making a scrumptious, ultra simplistic entree that everybody loves. If you like spinach artichoke dip, the creamy, yummy dip bread or fried bow tie pasta or whatever, your finger into it, you'll like this a lot. So it's spinach artichoke chicken. And I know I say, oh, it's so simple. My husband gets aggravated at that. He's like, just because you love to cook and do it all the time and think everything's simple doesn't mean everybody else does. Whatever. I promise this is really simple. It's pretty straightforward ingredients. Everybody's typically got, and if not, grab one or two at the grocery store. Comes together very fast. Very fast. It's great dairy-free. It's how I make it at the restaurant. It's great with dairy. I'm actually doing a combo. I have cream cheese that's dairy-free because I had a dairy cream cheese and I lost it. I don't know what the heck I did with it. So anyway, I don't know where it went. So we're going to use dairy-free. But my Parmesan cheese and mozzarella cheese will be dairy. So, mix, match, do whatever you want to do. Speaking of mixing and matching, let me turn the camera down and show you the first thing you do is put your boneless chicken thighs in a pan. Sprinkle a little salt, cover it with foil, pop it in the oven on 400 for about 20 minutes. Yeah, see, that's easy. Well, I've got an interesting combination here because some of my thighs are boneless and some of them, oh no, I'm sorry, they're all boneless, but some are skinless, some are not. I had different packages. I had a couple packages from a local farm that I absolutely adore and love, and their stuff is boneless skin on, which is by far my preference. But I didn't have too much of that. I'm doing a big dish. I'm doing the full recipe. But for me and just me and my husband, it's a lot, but we like it a lot. So we wanted to make a lot. We'll eat it a lot and it'll be all good. And then I've got a package of some organic thighs that are skinless and boneless. Whatever. It's all good. It's all fine. So let me turn the camera around so you can see nothing, no great shakes here, but you can at least see kind of what it looks like before it goes in the oven. Okay, so there's my skin on and there's my skinless. It all works the same. So all you're going to do is sprinkle a little salt on here. Just kind of salt it to taste. Salt it like you'd salt an egg. Just make sure you got a little on all of it. Then we're going to put some foil over it that will not be touching our food at all. Because you know how I am about aluminum touching my food. That is a big fat no-no. And then it's going to go in the oven, 400 degrees, depending on your oven, 20 to 25 minutes. I'm probably going to land somewhere right in the middle of that. My oven is still heating. So anyway, it's fixing to go in the oven. And then the next steps are so easy. You just mix all the rest of the ingredients. And once the chicken comes out of the oven, you kind of pour off the liquid, just so you don't have a lot of soupy liquid in there, the water and stuff that's coming out of the chicken. Top it with the creamy topping that we're about to make, back in the oven, uncovered for 15 minutes. And that is it. So yeah, it's like what my grandma used to call stupid simple. But hold on, I'm going to gather up my ingredients, let my oven finish heating, and it'll go in just a second. Okay, so our chicken is in the oven and it's doing its thing. So now we're going to mix the topping. Again, y'all, so super simple. This is 4 ounces of fresh spinach by weight. So I had my little package, weighed my spinach, put it in my bowl. And I know it looks like it's really super full in this bowl, but once everything gets mixed, it kind of mushes down. So from there, we're going to add, I want to try and do this in an order that I don't have to get another measuring spoon or wash them. So the recipe calls for dried minced onion. I don't have any dried minced. I have powdered. So powdered is a lot more intense than minced. So it calls for a tablespoon. If you're using dry minced onion, be a tablespoon. If you're using powdered, then I would do half that. I just kind of eyeballed. Half a tablespoon is a teaspoon and a half. So we've got that. Then a teaspoon of salt. That was a half a teaspoon. Whoops. So a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of pepper, and then you want a tablespoon of minced garlic, and I've got my favorite you know, roasted garlic. Y'all seen my different jars a million times. I'm not even bothering to mince this because I'm going to get my hands in here and mix this up real good. And this garlic is soft enough, it's just going to mush it down. So no need to bother with mincing it up because it'll get minced. Okay, and then we need a half a cup of Parmesan. So I've got this Ambrosi, I guess how you say it. Phenomenal. It's organic. I cut the thing off, but God, it's so good. This is probably the longest part of the recipe, and it took me 3 minutes to shred a half a cup. So, you know, that's how hard that is. So we've got our spinach, our garlic, our onion, salt, pepper, Parmesan. Now we need a can, which they're, you know, somewhere between 14 and 15 ounces of artichoke hearts. So I've got my Native Forest organic artichoke hearts. These are quartered, but what I want to do is, and I drained it over the sink, I want to kind of rough chop these. Now, you know, this is a preference thing. I don't want, even though I love artichokes, and I may have just eaten one of these straight out of the jar or the can after I opened it, I don't want big, huge hunks of artichoke in my topping. I want a little bit in all the different bites. So I just rough chop mine. I don't get real particular about it. Just kind of do it like this. Get it, you know, minced up. Artichokes can be a little bit tough, so you want to make sure you get through them all. But that's, you know, that's just my preference. If you like bigger pieces, knock yourself out and even bigger. It's really however you want to do it. Still got some can. Now let me throw my other glove on, and then we're going to get our hands all googly. This is actually a good recipe to work with kids on because they love this part. You can give them some gloves, let them stick their hands in there, mess it all around, and oh, isn't that fun? Okay, and then we need our 6 ounces of cream cheese. I really wish I had my Nancy's cream cheese, but I don't, because I don't know what I did with it. Lord have mercy. I'm probably going to find it tomorrow, and that's really going to chat me, but whatever. So you got your 6 ounces of cream cheese. Mine's actually a little bit more. I think this is a 7-ounce container, but I'm not going to save 1 ounce. I'm certainly not going to throw it away, and I'm not going to sweat the difference. So now what you want to do is just get your hands in here and mix this up. I should have let my cream cheese sit out a little bit longer because it would make it a little softer, but it'll be fine. So we're just going to get this mixed super well. This is kind of fun too. Kind of make a big fat sloppy nasty mess. But anyway, once we get this all creamed up and mixed really well, because you want to make sure you get garlic and onion powder and seasonings and Parmesan, and you know, you want a little bit of everything in every bite. You don't want any big globs of anything. You don't want to bite down into a ginormous blob of cream cheese, and then your next bite is nothing but plain old spinach. So you want to get it mixed really good. And as the cream cheese kind of warms up and softens up, it mixes even better. Doesn't this look fun? It's kind of like a little, I don't know, stress relief, tactile, whatever. I don't know. It's not, wasn't a thing when I was a kid, but it seems to be a thing these days. All right. So that is pretty dadgum good. And I've got 10 more minutes on the oven. And when the chicken comes out, we're going to spread this over the top it with, or spread it over the chicken, top of the chicken, and then sprinkle some shredded mozzarella, and then pop it back in the oven for 15 minutes, and that's it. You have spinach artichoke chicken, and it's really, really good. All right, so we'll stop there. I think everything's mixed. Another reason I like to really get in here and do it this way is to kind of, I don't know, lack of a better term, break down my spinach. Get it where it's not so stiff. I mean, of course, it's going to cook in the oven, you know, spinach droops down to much of nothing. But I just like to make sure it's pretty soft and I don't have any really big, huge chunks sticking out everywhere. So we'll get all my googly off of here, and then we'll, about 10 minutes, 9 minutes, and we'll top it off, and then it goes in the oven and it's good to go. That's how quick this is. And if you do prep ahead, you could get your chicken in the pan. I wouldn't salt it because salt draws the water out of things. So if you have your chicken in the pan and you salt it and throw it in the fridge for a couple days, it's going to tend to dry your chicken out. So just, you could throw it in the pan or leave it in the package. That's such a quick step, it doesn't really matter. You can mix this up, pop it in the refrigerator, have your shredded mozzarella. I'm fixing to shred mine. And then come home from work or come home from whatever, throw your chicken in the pan, pop it in the oven. This will go on top, sprinkle it with cheese, pop it back in the oven, and you're done. That's how fast and easy this is. And like I said, super, super good. So hold tight and we'll be back in just a bit. Okay, so our chicken is out of the oven. Oh, and my glove busted. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? It's fine. Oh, no, it's not fine. That one's not going to work. Oh, I guess my hands are a little too wet from doing dishwashing. Anyway, it's out of the oven. I tipped it up and poured the juice off. I didn't pour off every little drop. I mean, that's the kind of brothy, fatty liquid. And actually, I will keep that, and tomorrow, we've already fed all our animals today, but tomorrow, that will get poured over my dog food. They'll love it. It'll be a special chickeny treat, and they'll love it. So, nothing goes to waste around here. I'm certainly not pouring that down the drain, and the dogs will love it. So anyway, so here's our chicken. Now, we're going to take this and just, you know, spread it over top of each thigh. I mean, no brain surgery here. Just want to make sure every piece gets covered. Sorry, my pan is rocking and making an irritating noise. But you just want to make sure it gets covered real well. Ooh, little juice squirted out. I am going to pop this in the oven a little while later. It's only 4 something. And me and the hubs are fixing to go upstairs. We have a little balcony off the upstairs bedroom. We're going to go up there and sit on the balcony and enjoy the beautiful weather before I stick this in the oven for the big 15 minutes it takes. And then we'll have supper. So that's that. Now we'll top it with a cup of mozzarella cheese. And you just want to sprinkle this around. Hoo-wee, y'all. This is going to be good, good in a little while. I've got some steamed broccoli in the refrigerator that was left over from the weekend. We love steamed broccoli. And I did a bunch of it intentionally. So we're going to have this and the broccoli. And I think I have some, maybe some cabbage or something else in there. I don't know. And if not, this is plenty. I mean, there's plenty of vegetables on top of this. You got your fat, your protein. We'll have carbs in our veggies. We have a nice, well-rounded meal that's going to taste amazing and didn't take long to put together. So, yes, I'm very ridiculous about getting every little piece. I can't stand to waste food. So that's that. So this goes in the oven uncovered for 15 minutes, just to kind of bring all that topping together, melt the cheeses, and get it all nice and really gooey. And there she is. So I'll bring it back and show y'all the finished product, because it will look a little different than this. And then we will be pigging out. But that's it, y'all. That is spinach artichoke chicken pre-oven. So we'll be back in a little while and you can see the finished product. Okay, there it is. Spinach artichoke chicken. Doesn't that look yum? On the plate with some steamed broccoli. We are fixing to pig out. Y'all give it a try. Let me know what you think. It's so good.